Got it.
You want to start over?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys again for coming to our opportunity seminar. There's a lot that we're going to be talking about. There's 3 big opportunities that we have for students this semester, so thank you guys for all coming. Before we get started, we want to just go ahead and introduce our team again one more time. This is Ron McKinney. For those of you guys who don't know him, he's a retention specialist. This is Michelle Byington as well as a retention specialist. And then we have our 2 interns right now, Tiffany Blevins and Naomi, say your last name. Nevakoya, okay? And then we're also going to be talking about the Chicago trip. And then if you guys don't know me, my name is Yosh Wagner. I'm the director of the program. So again, we're just going to go through all these different opportunities. So we're going to let Michelle get started. So,
okay, so those are the opportunities. I've been teaching all day, guys. Come on, give me a break. So we have grant aid. What is grant aid? Somebody has to have gotten grant aid for who? I mean, money for who?
The students.
What students?
TRiO.
Okay, somebody who's gotten grant aid, raise your hand. What is grant aid? Here, share with us, please.
It's money for TRiO students who complete grade checks, attend seminars, and are currently and actively working inside the program.
Yep, you basically summarized it. TRiO is money that we get, our funds that our program gets from the Department of Education to give to TRiO students that are Pell eligible and have a remaining need of $600 or greater. That is key. So if you have $600, then you're eligible and receive Pell or financial aid, you are eligible to receive grant aid. Will you receive it? We don't know. Huh? Slide.
Slide.
Oh.
Move the slide.
there you
Oh,
go.
there we go. So, I don't know what this does, so I'm just going to go with I know because I've been doing grant aid for like ever. So, if I don't say something on here, just bear with me. So, we get $30,000 that we give to our students, specifically just TRiO students. Okay, so we are going to be giving $25,000 this spring, and then we save $5,000 for summer school. Department of Ed says that we have to give grant aid to those it's for those students in their first 4 semesters of college ever. That doesn't mean their first 4 semesters of college here at Haskell, it means ever in their entirety. So what we do as retention specialists is when you turn in your application, we go through everything on this checklist. What semester are they in? We actually will count. We'll pull up your transcripts and we'll go back and count how many semesters you've been in college. Okay? Now, does that put you, if you are in your 5th semester, will that put you out of the running? No, because you have to remember now, we go back to that remaining need. $500 or $600 or greater. If you do not have that, then we cannot give you grant aid. If you have $599.99, guess what? We cannot give you grant aid. We will get in trouble for it. So it has to be $600 or greater. So how do we find out? When you guys submit your applications, which they are April 8th through the 12th, we'll open them, we will email them to you guys, they're not available now. You guys will complete those, you bring them in, and when you turn in your application for grant aid, that lets us know that you are interested in receiving those funds. If you do not turn in an application, we will not look at your name because we are under the impression that you are not interested in receiving grant aid. Okay, so you can have everything in, but if you do not bring in your application, we cannot award you. Because we have to have that documentation that you, yes, indeed, applied. So, we're moving on to an important part. With some of you that have received grant aid before, this is new to everybody this year. Everybody. We moved to a point system. We did not have that before. So, I have here a point system, and I'm going to show it to you, and then we're going to pass it out, because what's going to happen is if we show it to you guys are going to take it, look at it, and then you're going to have a zillion questions. this is what our point system looks like, okay? We have tiers. Tier 1 is for those students that were here in the fall and the spring that have 75 points or higher, okay? If you were not enrolled at Haskell in the fall or are brand new to TRiO in the spring, you can still be in Tier 1 if you have a minimum of 36 points. So there are requirements that we have for each semester. The budget and savings requirement is, seminar is a requirement to receive grant aid. You must have gone in the fall and gone in the spring. Tomorrow is budget savings, or creating a spending plan is tomorrow. So if you are interested in grant aid, we will see you tomorrow. So if you have less than 74 points, you're down here. Okay, let's talk about Tier 1, Group 1, and Tier 1, Group B. Group A are those students within their first 4 semesters, okay? So we look at them, say there are 30 students that apply and they fall in this group right here. Say 10 of them are eligible to receive grant aid. Maybe their minimum need is $600 each. We have $25,000 that we're giving out this semester. Well, guess what? That's not going to equal to $25,000. So then we look at everybody else in this group, 5 semesters on. Say we have another 5 people there that are eligible to receive grant aid out of 8 people. We meet their needs, and then we look at everybody else in Tier 2. Is that clear as mud? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now is the time to ask questions about this point system. It's brand new. I think I'm going to be moving on because that is about it for grant aid. You have to attend the Creating a Spending Plan seminar. Grant aid is not guaranteed. I will repeat that again. It's not guaranteed. We do not select. That's why we have a point system. It's up to you guys and how much you guys want to get grant aid. We don't select based on who we know better. We never have. There's people that will take it personal. It's never personal. So that's why we have the point system now. So that way you guys can see where you guys are with points. I think that's it. Any questions about anything pertaining to grant aid right now? Yes?
Is it first come, first serve?
No, it's based on a point system.
So even if if everybody qualified, everybody could get?
Now remember, we have to look at Tier A, or Group A, those in their first 4 semesters. If all of you guys here applied, which there's about, I'm going to say 40, there's not 40, but if all 40 of you applied and 10 of you are in the first 4 semesters and you have that need, we'll look at them first before we look at anybody else, because if we do not, we will get in trouble by Department of Education for giving funds not to this group first, which it specifies that. So we have to follow rules and regulations in order to keep this place running, and that is a huge rule and regulation. Okay? Yes?
So you count the summer as a semester too?
So the summer is going to be, for the grant aid, is going to be by itself. So those students who come to summer school will be eligible for that $5,000. But if you're not here, then you won't be eligible.
And there will be requirements for summer school as well.
But is summer school considered one of the semesters we attended? Like if I
Nope.
attended some,
Not
Okay.
for this.
Not for grant aid overall. We look at
Okay.
fall and spring. If you attended in the spring or in the summer school, we count that as spring. Or maybe you were here in the fall and just in summer, that's going to be 2, right? Because spring is counted as, or summer and spring are like 1.
okay.
Okay?
So
Yes.
How much points is for each seminar?
Okay, that's a good question. So for each seminar, if you physically attend seminars, you're going to get 3 points, right? If you do not attend and you choose to watch them online, because we will put them online, you will get 1 point for that. So your best bet is to physically attend them. on the calendar and the events, we have all the seminars listed, and if it says they're broke up by class status, so freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, but if they have all, then you're eligible to attend as many of those as you want. Okay?
Can you attend a seminar and then watch online?
Nope.
Get all-
No, that's called double dipping. That was asked last semester, and no, you cannot attend the seminar and watch that same seminar and get 4 points.
There's tons of seminars that you guys can go to. I think there's only probably 2 seminars that are gonna be closed, which is the 3 Ps, and that's only gonna be for freshmen and transfers. And then I think everything else is
No,
open.
the four-year degree.
Oh, and then the 4-year, which is the sophomores and freshmen and transfer. So those are the only 2 that are gonna be for those specific.
Okay, so if, like before you guys said we couldn't miss seminars, but now we can miss seminars.
If you want, you can, if you want to get grant aid, you will go to as many seminars as you.
I'm just saying the point system now is what I'm saying.
So,
It
so
sounds a
now,
little
the
different.
reason why we did that, okay, and so this is, again, this is a support service program, right? So we wanna make sure that this is easy for all students, right? So some students have jobs, some students have other curricular activities, right? And so not everybody's gonna be able to attend. So in that situation, if you know that you're not gonna make it to a seminar because of work, because of other things, and for sports, you have to let us know prior. Then we can work with you and make sure that we can schedule that. But if you let us know after, then it's only worth 1 point, okay? So that's that communication. So we're wanting to make sure that you guys communicate with us. And hopefully this system works. If it doesn't, then we can make tweaks again. But this was just because students had asked, you know, hey, I can't make it. Is there any way that we can come to this? And so that's why we're trying to make it these adjustments for you guys. So again, trying to make this easy for our students as easy as possible. Yeah.
So going back to what I think you may be asking is, before we were saying you were required to attend 3 seminars to get grant aid. Okay, that wasn't a point system. Okay, we weren't basing, but we did look at how many seminars did this person attend. Okay, they attended 4. We actually were looking at those. Okay, they attended 4. This person here attended 2. So even though it's a requirement, that's what got your foot in the door. Now it's moved on to a point system. So you could attend 3 if you want and get, 9 points, which I think on the checklist, that's what it says. Attend 3 seminars. So a minimum of 3 seminars each semester will, or this semester, everything else on here will get you a total of 36 points.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many points do I get if I turn in my grade check or degree checklist late? And can I turn in my grant application late?
Okay, if you turn in your grade check late or incomplete, it's 1 point, automatically 1 point. I will tell you that we had a situation come up this past fall where a student turned in a complete but late grade check, and then we had a student that turned in an incomplete and late grade check. Which student do you think we went with that was able to go with us on our trip? Huh? Complete and late. Why? Because that let us look at all of their classes to determine whether or not this student was in good academic standing with their classes, so we can take them on this trip. So we are academic system, and we do look at grades. We will look at grades, yes.
How does it work? Like if you're taking a class at KU, do you just have them fill out the grade check too?
Are you physically taking it, or is it online class?
I'm physically taking it.
Yes, get in contact with them. Grade checks are due next Friday on the 8th. I was teaching all day, so I didn't have time to send out weekly reminders. If you are one of my students, email your instructors today and set up that time to get that grade check signed with them. Or even if you're not one of my students, email your instructors today to get that grade check signed, because if it's not turned in on the 8th by 4, it will be late. And grade 8, if you turn in your grade 8 applications late, we won't even look at them. We won't even look at them. Why? Because we are trying to prepare you guys for when you leave here. When you go to apply for jobs, guess what? If they have a deadline and it's at 4 o'clock, you turn it in at 5 o'clock, they're not gonna look at it, because they have all these other candidates that are applying as well. So that's why we have deadlines. It's not to be mean, it's to get you guys prepared for when you leave here and go into your careers. Any other questions?
What if we
Okay.
need to leave early to go to class or something?
Well, if you need to leave early or go to class, that will be documented in your class schedule, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, and another thing as far as, I'm gonna pass it. If you cannot attend and you're gonna go and say, okay, I'm gonna go, I have to do this, you need to have documentation. Because if you're sick, submit documentation, because I do not want anybody to come at me, or Ron, or Yo, or Tiff, or Naomi, saying, well, so-and-so got it, how come I didn't get it? They didn't go to these seminars, I went to these seminars, I know that they didn't go to these seminars. That's why we need to have documentation, so we can have that in the paper trail. Covering our trails. Any other questions? Okay, we also do have the point system, which is right there. If you need to have a copy of that, there's some there, or we can make more copies. Any other questions? Yes,
When you're meeting with your retention specialist, like, do you have to,
sign in on the forms, on the sign-in sheet, and then put, for the purpose, put meeting, or a monthly meeting, or February meeting, March meeting, whatever. If you're turning in a grade check and having that meeting at the same time, put grade check/meeting, okay?
So everybody's got your questions answered for grant aid only. Good? One more?
Yes.
So, like, will you guys just keep track of our points so we can check them with you all the
Yep.
time?
Yes, we will make sure, but
But
it would
that's
be,
why we have that text
Yeah.
list there.
it's also a good idea for you to track that as well. So again, it's the same thing, same concept with your grade checks. You're gonna know exactly where you are if you follow this and just put your stuff in. Questions?
Okay, moving on. Okay, I don't know what's next on that slide.
So I want to make sure really quick to let you guys know that we want to make sure you guys know this up front. It's not going to be too terribly hard. Again, you're just doing everything that you're supposed to, right? You're going to do your monthly grade checks. You're going to make sure that you meet with your retention specialist. And then what's the other one? Three seminars, okay? So it's everything that you're going to be doing anyways. It's just there's going to be bigger incentives, okay? So we just want to make sure that everybody understands how this works, okay?
So just before, I want to point out that this seminar tonight was a requirement for grant aid, as well as creating a spending plan seminar tomorrow. So if you come to those tonight and tomorrow, you're already at 2 for your minimum, right? And then pick another one to come to. But if you want more points, then just keep coming.
Do you want to do the video first?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, no, this one where we're screaming?
No. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Chicago. How many people are interested in that Chicago trip? So we go 8 to 10 students who are going to be going on the Chicago trip. Ron will talk a little bit about that. So let's just go into the video really quick. Ron, you want to talk about it while I'm trying to do this right now?
Okay. This trip to Chicago it's called the National Student Leadership Diversity Convention. So to me, the key word is convention. When you think of a convention, it is something where people of like mind come together. Okay? So when we talk about leadership, we're talking about taking leaders from here to go. Now you'll gain a lot from this trip. It's a very deep kind of thing where you have to really explore who you are as a Native person, as a college student, as a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter, everything. They really push you to deal with who you are as a person, because that way you can help develop your leadership skills to help others. And that's the whole purpose of this being a convention rather than being a conference or anything like that. It's the idea is that people of like minds will come together. And I want you to see this video because, and we have some people here that have been on this trip, and it's really a good experience if you would like to go.
Well, it's 19, but.
Actually, the dates this year will be the 4th through the 7th. So the trip will begin, we'll leave here on a Thursday morning. So we've tried in the past to get you exempt from your classes, but that hasn't worked out. So you'll have to prepare to miss Thursday and Friday if you want to go. So that means talking to your instructors ahead of time, letting them know what this is all about, maybe turning in some work early, something like that. But all of that is a part of this. It's being a leader. It's taking control of your setting here. You being in charge of yourself and everything that you do. And so we leave here on a Thursday morning. We get there, we check into the hotel, and all your expenses, your lodging and your meals and transportation are paid for through TRiO. The only funds you would need is if you want to buy souvenirs or something like that, extra snacks, because we'll provide meals, and at the conference, at the convention themselves, they have breakfast, continental breakfast, and they have snacks and all that kind of stuff. But if you want something, you know, later on, you want to order pizza late at night or whatever, that's up to you. But so, and as you saw, there's plenty of opportunity to go and see Chicago. I don't know if you've never been to Chicago. It's a very unique place to go, and we try to give everyone a chance to go and see some things and do some things that you might want to do. But the real focus is being at the conference. So it's going to start that Thursday night after dinner, and then Friday morning, there's going to be keynote speakers, and then you'll break into small groups, and you'll be separated from everyone here. So you might be in a group with people from all over the country that come there. We have groups that drive up from Florida, all over the place. I think there's 4 conferences a year all across the nation, and people, you know, pick the ones that they attend. So it's really something that you should really consider going and working toward it. If on that sheet that was passed out, was that one passed out? It's the requirements are on the back, and pretty much it's the same thing. You do have to attend the conflict management seminar, which is going to be, let's see, what night is that? Conflict management is March 5th. So all the requirements up to that point, you know, we'll go by the same point system. If you've got your grade checks in on time, degree checklist will be on there as well, and the points that you gain from coming to the different seminars, whether you're here or online. But yeah.
We got Nicole, could you say something a little bit about, she got to go last year, and Tiff got to go last year to the trip. But if you could just give them just a little bit of information about the trip and how you experienced all of that. Maybe.
And then what happened when you came back? What did you have to do?
Hi everybody, I'm Nicole Charlie. I went on the last Chicago trip and it was really exciting. It was something different. Nobody didn't really know anything about Native Americans, and there was no statistics until we went there and used our own voice on behalf of all the indigenous people. So that was really exciting, and having the opportunity to be there with everybody from all over, it was different. It was fun too. We got to meet a lot of good people, and we started learning how to use our voice more vocally and how to present ourselves around everybody and how to talk to one another. And we're just speaking out for one another was one of the hardest things, because in those seminars and going to each class, you would have to stand up in front of everybody. You would have to use your voice and talk in front of everybody as well. So it's not just you sitting off to the side. You're having to be involved with everything, and that was one of the good things I really learned over there. And just the funny trips we were going to. And that time it was cold, so we didn't really have a jacket, but it was really good. After all of that, just bringing it back here, we had to get recorded and talk about what we learned. So it was fun. It's a good opportunity to go and learn more. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So, I think that's it about it.
Yeah, and, you know, the first weekend in April in Chicago, it's up in the air. It could be nice, it could be warm, it could be a blizzard. I think I went 2 years ago, and on our way back, we had to drive through some thunderstorms, and it was raining so hard, we had to pull off at a truck stop and wait it out for a while because the water was about half a foot deep on the interstate. But yeah, I mean, it's really worth your time and energy to go to this if you would like to go. Like Nicole said, you really meet a lot of people from all over, and a lot of them have never been around Native Americans. They know nothing except stereotypes. So it's an opportunity for you to share about who you are and where you come from, and the realities that you face as students here at Haskell.
Do you guys have any other questions about Chicago? Nothing? It's really fun, and then you also get to put that on your resume, as well as if you're applying for any scholarships, that's going to be helpful as well. So it's definitely something that you want to look at if you're looking at graduate school, if you're looking at professionalism, opportunity for that.
How would you list that on your resume?
You would do leadership. It would be a student leadership conference, and so then you would put the weekend and then all of the skills that you learned from them. So, all right. Yeah, internship. Okay, so last one. Thank you guys for going through this with us. Okay, so last one that we're going to talk about is the student internship. So basically what it is it's for juniors and seniors. However, we have opened that up to sophomores as well. So what this is really designed to do is giving you the experience of helping students. It's going to be pure mentoring. You're going to get opportunity to do the seminars. You're going to get opportunity to do marketing, networking, really kind of being part of our team, okay? So once you get into the team, so TRiO team, I basically just treat you as if you are a staff member. So I would give these guys a task, and basically I'm like, okay, this is what you're going to do for senior recognition, go. Because you're going to have to learn all these different things, and so we give you that experience to be on campus, but also that makes you, it helps you because you're taking opportunity at the university to do something. I always like to share this with students as far as it's not enough just to get your college degree anymore. I've had several friends who have just went to school and they thought that was enough. They didn't do any extracurricular activities, they didn't do any leadership, they didn't do anything outside of that classroom. So when they graduated, they didn't have any opportunity because they didn't have that experience. And so what happened was they actually got a job over at Checkers for a while. And not saying anything bad about Checkers, but if you have a bachelor's degree in business, you shouldn't be working at Checkers as a cashier person, right? You want to make sure that you're using these skills. So how do you do that? You got to make sure that you have that experience. So again, this is a good opportunity for you to get that experience. And again, it gets to get your foot in the door, okay? Internship, you have to get to go, for the internship, you are required to go to all the seminars. If you have the internship during the spring, you will be required to go to that Chicago trip regardless. So if you had already gone, one of the things with that Chicago trip is if you've gone as a student, you cannot go again. So you get one chance to go to that Chicago trip, but if you are an intern and you had gone to Chicago and you become an intern, then you get to go again, okay? So there's a possibility for a double on that as well as for that internship. We do pay $10 an hour, so we require you to do a minimum of 12 hours for the week and then a max of 20 hours per week, okay? There's gonna be an application process, and that is on that calendar that we have given you guys. Resume, 2 letters of recommendation, and then we do a interview. Can't see it right there at the end. But there's an interview process. Again, we're trying to make sure that you guys start getting used to doing these interviews where you have to go and dress nice, you have to look presentable, professional, and really look at how are you applying for this job. So we put you down, make sure that we go through a rubric and help you. If this is the first time you do an interview, we're going to give you guys tips on how to do a better interview. Again, we're wanting to make sure that you guys, when you guys leave here, you guys are ready to go. Okay, so have to do the background check. This is for students who are active. Okay, why is it important that you have to be an active student to apply for the internship? Anybody? Not you two.
Makes the job easier.
Makes the job easier?
More easier to communicate with people.
Okay,
Instead
yeah.
of someone that's like shy to speak in front of people or just like introvert.
Introvert? Okay, so we work at all those different skills. What else? Why is it important to be an active student to apply for this internship? Does anybody know?
Build skills.
Build skills?
Yeah.
How so?
I mean, just in your department of your degree.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I mean, it's a lot of opportunity. Again, we have 2 interns. We have one for the semester, and then we have one for the full year. If you do get to become an intern, you get a whole year, which is going to be that fall, summer, and spring. So at least you get those 3 semesters. So if you start in the summer, then you get the opportunity to do the fall and spring. Okay. We do, again, encourage everybody to apply. The thing that Michelle was talking about, the grade checks, some students who didn't get those on time, they turned them in late, those actually count too as well, so we can see those grades. So just because you miss the grade check deadline does not mean that you just skip that grade check. You get to make sure you turn that in late because we'll still look at that. This semester, we had students who applied for the internship. We had one student who was golden all the way through, and because that person didn't get that intern, they stopped doing their grade checks. And then what happened is our other intern was not able to take that position, and so the person that was ready to go on deck didn't turn their grade checks in, so we couldn't give it to them. So it's very important that you make sure you keep track of all of those because there's always a possibility to get back in.
That was me. That was me.
That was you?
Yep. I went from $2,600 to the 1 missed grade check.
Yeah, and so that happens, and it's just making sure that you're mindful. Another thing too is I don't want you guys to think that you guys cannot work with us. I know we threw a lot of requirements, a lot of information at you guys, but we want you guys to communicate with us. If you guys have any issues, any additional questions, definitely come in and ask us because we want to work with you. If you're not able to make it to the seminars, if you have to make adjustments, please talk with us. We are a student support service program, which means we are here to service you guys and make sure that you guys have everything you need to go from one semester to the next semester, have good academic standing, and then eventually you guys graduate and then you guys fly away. Okay? Let's try to get somebody to smile. Nobody's laughing. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about all that stuff that we just talked about? No? Yes? Possibly later? Yes?
Do you have to be a junior or senior to attend the Chicago trip?
No. No? You do not. Mm-mm. Any other questions? So there's lots of opportunity. Again, this is all to help you guys be successful. So the more that you guys do this, Hopefully your GPA and your grades stay up. Tomorrow, if you guys are interested in that grant aid, we do have that seminar for creating a spending plan at 5 tomorrow. So if you are interested in that $30,000, you need to make sure that you're here tomorrow at 5. If you are not, talk to us beforehand. Otherwise, it's that 1 point. Anything else?
I do want to point out, last semester, one student, I think it was one, might have been two, got $3,000 grant aid.
Oh, yes.
What? $3,000? Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. We had documentation. So, yeah, who doesn't want $3,000? I want $2,000. I can't get $2,000.
All right, so any questions? If not, thank you guys for coming. Make sure you guys fill out those seminars. If they are not complete, that does not count. So make sure you fill those out. Counts as one. Yes, 3 points for all of y'all for coming in today.
Where is it?
Thank you guys. Make sure you guys fill out those forms. Get it to us.
Which one is
The
it?
gray button.
I can't see anything.
It's right on the side.
Oh.